Can you hear me now? Okay. So, you guys, I don't know if you know that I own this building that we're in here today. And so it's like a very special moment for me because when I bought this building, this room actually sold me. So I came here. So let me just tell you, like a couple of years ago, 2017, my business was growing. We're in Stockton, California, and the business is growing. And we go and lease a space. It was a beautiful space. It was like all my dreams come true. I thought that we were going to be the Google of real estate in Stockton. It was the bomb. I wanted to sleep at this space. It was such a beautiful space. I spent $89,000 getting the space ready. It wasn't mine, somebody else's, but I paid all this money, and I just knew we were growing, and it was going to be absolutely wonderful. So about a month after we got this space, the city of Stockton shut the whole building down for code violations, which was really a play to take these people's building. And this is what Stockton does. They got some shady stuff going on in the background. So they used to do this land grab. And so we were victims of this land grab. And so 9 businesses, some that have been there 30, 40, 50 years, had gotten shut down. And I had 2 of the businesses in this building. And my office, my company, we were homeless for 6 months. And so we didn't have a place to go. And so my church in Stockton, Victory and Praise, they had a bunch of offices. And so we just kind of, me and 2 of my assistants, we were just the 2 of us in this little bitty space. We go from a 6,500 square foot building to now we're in this small office space, just the 3 of us. And everybody else is like, they don't have anywhere to meet their clients or meet them at Starbucks or at Denny's or whatever. And even during that time, my business still grew. And I was frustrated, I was angry, I wasn't angry, I was frustrated, I was just like, God, why? God, why? And people used to ask me, they used to be like, I know you pissed off at the city of Stockton. And I was never mad, I just didn't know, okay, God, I know you didn't do all this for it to be this. I know you didn't bring me this far for us to have everything just taken away from us. And we were patient and we moved across the street because we knew we were going to get back in that building. And so we ended up paying all this money for this smaller space, higher rent, but we were just determined to get back in that space. I was advocating, y'all. I was marching damn near. I was on the news. I was gathering all of the other business owners. We're going to get our space back. Because it just didn't make any sense to me. It was like, I know that God didn't bring us here for this. And so one day as we're still waiting, and then my landlord said, we're going to make a Starbucks into the space where you are, so y'all got to figure out what y'all going to do. Oh, okay. What is we going to do? And I started looking at LoopNet, which is a place where you can go find commercial space. And I was like looking in Stockton. I was like, stop it. So I just started looking at Sacramento, and I seen this space. And I was like, oh my God. This is like, the price was lower than it should have been. And I was like, oh my God, so let me go check this space out. So I sent one of my employees go check it out. And I'm so wishy-washy. Y'all have an idea in my mind. And it'll be brilliant when I think of it. I'm telling you, this is how I am. I'm an executor, so I have to execute right away. If I don't execute right away, it's like stupid after like 3 days, right? So I sent him to over here to see it. And it probably took about a week to come over here. And then he came back and said, Constance, you should go see the building. I was like, I ain't even think about that building more. I'm off to the next. He said, no, it's a good look, Constance. You should come and look at it. So I was like, okay, I'll come. So like I went up to Sacramento. So me and my assistant, we came up here, looked around, and then when we walked in this space, I was like, because I'm a speaker, right? I travel all over the country and I speak and I host events. And I was like, I can have an event here. I'll pay thousands of dollars. And I just saw something like this where we are today in this space. And then now it's a full circle moment. So this is actually the first time I've been back on stage since the pandemic. And I'm excited to be here, you guys. I'm excited to be here, y'all. You have no idea. I am excited. So this, when you come in here, and I don't come here as often as I should because I mostly work out in Stockton, but when I come here, I'm like, God, this place is dope. This is Black owned. Yeah. Not that I own it, but that it's Black owned. Yeah. And it's something that we all can appreciate and love and take ownership in this space. Yeah. God didn't give me this space for me. He gave it to everybody that's here. And so when you walk into this space, This is hollow ground. This is yours. Treat it like you at home. Take care of it. Love on it. Appreciate it. Do all the things that you would do as if it was yours, because it is. This is community. It's about you, and it's about building. And that's what my life is about. It's what it's always been about, is building. When I got into real estate back in 2002, I remember I had the same email, and I remember sending out an email to all my friends. I just want to help people. And I built my business on just wanting to help people. That's all. I was 23 when I bought my first house. And I wanted to help people who looked like me. People said, you ain't gonna ever get no house. I'm from San Jose, moved all the way down to Stockton, didn't know nobody in Stockton, got married, had a baby, bought a house, and we're like, what the hell do we do? But I wanted to show everybody else that looked like me, that looked like you, and everybody in this room, the possibilities of what can happen. Because listen, I use my hardships, and it hasn't been easy, but my hardships are the blueprint to help other people. How many of you know that everything that you go through, they should be the hardship. Your hardship should be the blueprint to help somebody else. You're not going through what you're going through for you. It's for other people, because there are people who look like you who need to see somebody that's made it to the other side. Right. So when you are going through and you're ready to give up, know that, listen, it's not about me. I can't do this. I'm not doing it just for me. There is somebody else that's waiting to see that I can do it too. I grew up in a three-bedroom home for a family of 5, but 19 people lived in this house. So you can imagine the foolishness that I've seen. And in the midst of it all, I still been able to manage to get here, right? Back in 2009, I filed bankruptcy. Now at the time, y'all, I was making $200,000 a year, but I was broke mentally, right? It doesn't matter how much money you make. It matters how much you can keep at the end of the day. I'm no better than anybody who makes $30,000 or $40,000 if I can't keep the money. And so I had a 379 credit score. Your credit will go only to 350. I was at 379, y'all. Again, I used my hardships as a blueprint to help other people, because what I did is I took that and I wrote a book. And see, listen, I'm not the ideation person. I'm not the sharpest tool on the shelf. Let me just let you know that right now. I don't have a post-secondary. I got a PhD, a public high school diploma. I don't have all the background and training that a lot of these people do. I'm just an executor. And I happen to just surround myself around really, really, really smart people. That's what you got to do. And that's why it's so important that you get in rooms like this. Because you don't know who the next person that you can meet. You can meet your next business partner. Being in rooms helped me to create multi-million-dollar businesses, being in rooms. So trust and believe, the next conference that comes, I'm going to be at that mug. The next workshop, I'm going to be there because I need to meet my next business partner. I can't do it alone. So when I filed bankruptcy in 2009, I wrote a book called The Keeping Score, What You Need to Know to Make Your Credit Score Grow. It's back there. And I wrote this book because somebody told me to write it. I never had a desire to be an author. That wasn't my thing. I was selling houses and helping people. I was helping people pay credit. Somebody was like, you should write a book. I was like, okay. That's how most things happen for me. Somebody tell me to do something, somebody really smart, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Because I'm an executor. You got to understand, like, you can have the best ideas in the world, but the idea doesn't belong to he who thinks it. It belongs to he who executes it. So if you execute on something, somebody tell you something, be around some brilliant people. Somebody told me to write a book. I was like, all right, wrote a book and it became a bestseller, you guys. Now, I sat down and wrote this book in a day, right? Not the whole thing, but I wrote the outline of this book in one day. It took me a few months to finish it up, and then I have had a few revisions. But the concept, I came home from work because I used to be the first one in and the last one out. So I left work early at 3 o'clock, and I sat down and I wrote probably till 3 o'clock in the morning. And it became a bestseller. And if you look at the reviews, people say this book has changed my life. Right? It's a simple book. You can sit down and read it in an hour. I just took the knowledge that I had after I filed bankruptcy, after I jacked my credit up, I went to become a certified credit expert. I learned everything that I could about credit. Because I remember when I was growing up, my parents used to say, I used to come over here and talking. And they used to be like, well, they couldn't have because we got bad credit. We can't get this because we got bad credit. I had no idea what bad credit was. I just knew it was ruining our lives. So I just always was conscious, what's credit? I want to have good credit, but then life happens, right? 379 credit score. And then I write a best-selling book about credit. Using your hardships as the blueprint to help somebody else. Think about what you're going through in your life and how you can help somebody else. Remember, when I got into real estate, I just wanted to help people. Think about what you can do to help somebody else. And then after, being broke, but it was really a broken mentality, right? I didn't know how to manage my money. I wasn't broke. I was making $200,000 a year. It's almost $250,000, almost $250,000 a year I'm making. And I have more month than money. I go to the fair with my family. I got 4 kids. We couldn't pay for a day pass for all of them, making $250,000 a year. Broken mentality. I was broke. And so from that broken mentality, I wrote another book, The Secret to Breaking the Broke Code. And I just talk about my life. I just talk about the things that inspired me. Again, listen, I grew up 3-bedroom house for a family of 5, but 19 people live in this house. Fights, drugs, anything that you can imagine I was exposed to. And in the midst of that, my dad made sure I was in church. And my auntie, Rosie Mae Jenkins, she was the first lady in the church. We had like 15 people that went to church, and all of them was my family, right? And my auntie, Rosie Mae Jenkins, was my Sunday school teacher. And I remember I was 7 years old, and she told me, this changed my life. So simple, but it changed my life. She said, you are equally as important as anyone else, because God loves you the same. She said, you're no more important, and you're no less important, because God loves you the same. And I was like, even the President of the United States? She said, even the President of the United States. So no matter what was going on in my life, all the turmoil, I've been through a lot. But I always remembered that I was equally as important as the President of the United States. So I deserved everything this world had to offer. Little black girl, San Jose, rough around the edges. Listen, kids trying to bully me at school. I got bullied at home. So whatever you said to me at school, what? So I went to school, started bullying people because I got bullied at home. All the hardships and everything that I have been through, I knew that I was equally as important. So there was nothing that I didn't think that I could do. And if we can impart that on our children at a young age, imagine what they can become. So I want you to know that you are equally as important as anyone else. And guess what? You deserve everything this world has to offer. And so the secret to breaking the broke code, it's really an acronym, but it's really a lifestyle that I created, that I live by. The B is an acronym. The B in the broke code is belief. And when you talk about belief, you're talking about believing, right? And that's part of the theme of today. Belief. Now, we black women, we are the most believing in ourselves people. We got some self-esteem, y'all, right? We got self-esteem. We believe in ourselves. We believe in God because we are the most religious people on the planet. We love us some Jesus. We believe in God. But a lot of us don't believe that we deserve anything. And that's the reason why we don't live up to our full potential. So when my auntie told me that you are equally as important as the President of the United States, I believed that I deserved it. How many of you believe that you deserve abundance? How many of you believe that you deserve wealth? It is your birthright, y'all. Listen, if you are a child of the Most High, everything in this world is yours. All you gotta do is go get it. There is enough abundance out there for all of us. Really, it is. It's enough for all of us who want it. The problem is there are not enough people who want to go get it. They won't do what it takes to get it. They want it. My brother said, I believe I'm not supposed to be poor. He ain't doing nothing not to be poor. But he believes in his mind. He ain't supposed to live like that. Right? You gotta believe that you deserve it. The R in breaking the broke code is being ready to receive. So I can say that when I was bankrupt, or when I was spending all that money, I was in real estate and I'm selling off these houses and they're like cheap because foreclosure prices, and I was not in a position to buy. I had to foreclose. I foreclosed on houses back then. I short sold houses. My car got repossessed. I was homeless at one time in my life. And I was not in a position when I thought that I was not ready to receive. So when it came time now to make these investments, I had to put myself in a position. I had to set intention. I set intention. How many of you know that you have to set intention in order to make something happen? So when those opportunities came to me, like to invest in cannabis, I'm an owner of a cannabis dispensary in Stockton. I'm an investor in some greenhouses in Oklahoma. I own this building. And these were all six-figure investments. And so when the opportunity came out, just remember, 10 years ago, I had been bankrupt, short-sold houses, foreclosed, okay? Now here I am investing. It's because I was ready to receive it. It's not just about being in the right place at the right time, because I was in the right place at the right time. I wish I would have bought some property back then. But it's about being the right person in the right place at the right time. Setting the intention, being ready to receive. The O in breaking the bro code is you have to be obsessed with your success. Intentionally obsessed, right? So your success doesn't happen by happenstance, although it happened to Jan Bernard when she did your picnics. It kind of happened by happenstance, right? But it doesn't happen for everybody that way. You have to be obsessed. You have to be intentionally obsessed about your success. What does that mean? You have to eat, breathe, drink, sleep, think. When everybody was at home, when they were sleeping, I was working. I'm up in the middle of the night working. I'm obsessed with my success. I'm obsessed with Catalyst Real Estate. I'm obsessed with the co-op spot. I'm obsessed with making this a success. Now, although the co-op spot, we opened up. Listen, God is so good. We opened up in March of 2020. We shut down 2 weeks later because of the pandemic. So for the last year, we've been in the red. We've been running in the red. But God is still faithful. There's a scripture that says, don't be weary in well-doing, for in due season, you will reap your harvest if you faint not. You got to keep going. And that's the only reason, like when they kicked us out of the building, it was like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to trust you anyhow. Because I know you can do this. I know there's a purpose. This was a purpose for that. Being intentionally obsessed with everything that you do, being intentional about your obsession with your success is extremely important. Don't take anything for granted. The K in breaking the bro code is being knowledgeable, getting the training, getting the coaching, whatever you need to do in order to enhance yourself. I paid over $100,000, $150,000 in personal development, coaching, and things like that. Nicole, I met Nicole at a Lisa Nichols conference. I don't know if anybody knows Lisa Nichols. That's one of my coaches. That's one of my good friends. I traveled all over the world with her doing retreats, right? And she was on Oprah one time. And Oprah said to her during the break, how many coaches do you have? And she said, you notice she didn't ask me if I had a coach. Because all people who operate at a high level, they have coaches. I still have a coach. So she said, how many coaches do you have? And so she was like, she had like maybe one. She was like, okay. She was like, I thought about it. Next commercial break, she asked Oprah, how many coaches do you have? And Oprah said, I have 3. She said, you know what I did? I went and got 2 more coaches. When you're playing at a high level, you need to invest in yourself. That knowledge, being in the room like this, networking, being intentional about the people that you meet, because that's important. Network. I thank God for Zoom. I've been on a lot of Zoom calls. You know, when the pandemic hit, people asked me to speak. I was on Zoom. There's nothing in the world, no offense to y'all, but there's nothing in the world like being in the room, you guys. Being in the room where you can touch people, you can feel people, you can feel their electricity. You can really find your next business partner. A lot of my business ideas, they came from other people. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go far, go. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you got to go together. Being in places like this, coming together, not working in silos, doing the things that you need to do in order to build. This is about not only believing, but it's about building. And you have to have other people to build with. You can't build by yourself. You need other people. We need each other. I want to sing that Hezekiah Walker song, I need you. I need you to survive, right? We need each other. And we have to understand that I believe in collective economics. We got to pull our funds together, because if you look at what the other communities do, they spend with themselves before they spend anywhere else. We are the only community. We have $1.3 trillion in spending power. And guess how long it stays in our community?
1 day.
6 hours. Now, if you go to the Asian community, 20, 30 days before it leaves their community. You go to the Hispanic community, 20 days. You go to the Arab community. Our community, 6 hours with $1.3 trillion. And so some of the things that I've done in this room right here is I brought people together. And I said, let's pull our funds together. And so some of the candidates that we're investing in together. I believe in working together. We need to work together. So we have to have that knowledge, but it starts with being in rooms like this. And then the E is being economical. We have to make sure that we're taking our money, we're spending our money, we're spending it together, but we're spending wisely. Be intentional about how you spend your money, how you put your money together. Because you don't want to be, when an opportunity presents itself to you, you don't want to be like, man, Because when I announced that I was going to have a collective economics meeting here, it was like 50, 60 people that showed up. But then when we talked about, okay, you're going to need at least $5,000 to, get in. Next meeting we had about 30 people. Next meeting we had 20 people. I think we ended up having about 15 people that invested with us. So think about the things that you can do, how you can economically pull yourself together. So when opportunities present themselves to you, you're in a position to do it. I'm always looking to help us first. That's what the co-op spot is about, is helping us first. So the secret to breaking the broke code, it is about believing, it is about building, and it's about blooming, because we can't do it alone. And I want to impart something on you real quick before I get out of here. If you want to be successful, there are 5 things that you need to do. It's principle. Every successful person does it. You probably already do it, but everybody who performs at a high level does these 5 things. So if there's anything that you've ever wanted to accomplish in life, think about these 5 things. And I want you to write them down. I want you to remember them, record them, do whatever you got to do. This is extremely important. It will change your life. It's simple. You may already do it, but I want to make sure you do it every day, okay? So the first step is you have to visualize. Think it, okay? So the Bible says, without a vision, what happens? Say that one more time. Without a vision, what happens? The people perish without a vision. You can't know what it is that you're trying to do with your life if you have no vision for it. So think about it. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to close your eyes and think about, what is that thing that I want to do? What do I want to be in a year? What is that thing I want to do? Right? So now it's in your mind. Open your eyes. You visualize it. You can really make whatever you want happen, I promise you. The second thing you need to do is you need to write it down, because the Bible says, write down the vision and do what? And make it plain. So that thing that just went into your mind, you put it on some paper, you put it in your phone. My notes, my goals are in my phone. Take it everywhere I go. I ain't leaving my phone, I ain't losing my phone. So I have notes from 2013, 2010 in my phone that I always reflect back to. Because I go to trainings all over the country, and so I always just, I remember when I learned this, I remember when I learned that. My goals are in my phone. I might go to the park, I might leave my kids at the park on accident, but I ain't gonna leave that phone on accident. Trust me, believe. I always have it with me. So make sure that vision that you have, you put it down, you put it up, you put it in some paper, you put it on the phone, but you gotta write down the vision and make it plain, okay? Third step, speak it. Why? Because life and death are in the power of the tongue. Your words are prophetic. I'm sure to say that back there, by the way. Speak life. Your words are prophetic. Your words are prophetic. Your words cast spells. Whatever you say, whatever comes out of your mouth, guess what happens? It happens. If you say I'm broke, guess what happens? You gonna be broke. Biggie said I'm ready to die. Where's Biggie? Biggie said I'm ready to die. Where's Biggie? Exactly. Tupac talked about death. Where's Tupac? Your words are prophetic. Is it Hawaii? Who said that? Lisa Lefty Lopez always talked about death, and guess what she is? You speak the things over your life that you want them to become. So those goals that you thought about, that you wrote down, now you're speaking it. They're affirmations. And I'm going to challenge you. I want 21 days, I want you to do an affirmation challenge. Why did I say 21 days? You create a habit in 21 days, so then it becomes part of your life. So speak those things as though they were. The fourth step is, guess what? You got to work it. Because faith without works is dead. Come on, y'all. So you can think, dream, whatever, but if you don't do nothing, ain't nothing gonna happen. Getting in the rooms, being obsessed with your success, getting the trainings, doing all the things that you need to do in order to get there. Work it. And the fifth step is receive it. Manifestation. Do not be weary in well-doing, for in due season you will reap your harvest if you faint not. Think it, speak it, write it down, work it, receive it. Anything that you want to do in life, you can make it happen, I promise. So you guys, thank you guys so much for having me. I want to invite you to a retreat that I'm having in Costa Rica next year. Yes! How many people want to go to Costa Rica next year? Yes! Come on, join me and Jan and a host of other people in Costa Rica at the Weekend of Wealth Retreat. When you come there, it's for men and women. I normally do it with women. See, I've traveled all over the world with Lisa Nichols. And she's like, okay, it's time to do your own, Constance. So I do my own retreats now. And they're transformational, they're life-changing retreats. When you come in there, you're going to be able to put away your cape. You're going to learn, you're going to make friends, but you're going to be empowered, inspired. You're going to learn what you need to do in order to create the wealth and the life and abundance of your dreams. And guess what? They said Costa Rica is a place of healing. I got a dope-ass mansion in Costa Rica, too. And it was supposed to happen last year, pandemic. It was supposed to happen this year, pandemic. So it's going to be even bigger and better next year. But it's going to be absolutely amazing. And what I did for this conference today is I'm giving a discount. So if you'd like to come for today, for if you were to pay in full for the retreat, I'm giving a $1,000 discount. And if you want to make payments, like $500 down, $500 a month, I'm giving you a $500. No, it's $1,000 down, $500 a month. I'm giving a $500 discount to come to the retreat. With the retreat comes coaching. And what did I say about coaching? You need to invest in yourself so that you can get to the next level. Because everybody that performs at a high level, they need coaching. So what also comes with that is 3 months coaching with me, with the retreat. Coaching by itself, I charge $2,000 for the coaching. But people coach with me a month, and that's for 2 sessions a month. So you get 3 months, of coaching along with the Weekend of Wealth Retreat. So if you're interested, you go to constancecarter.com/events, and I have the payment plan on the website. If you want to do the payment plan, go to constancecarter.com/events. If you want to pay in full, go and hit me on Venmo or Cash App. And go to my website, weekendtowealth.com. It breaks everything down. Weekendtowealth.com is HTTPS. because it says that it's not secure or something. HTTPS://weekendtowealth.com. I want to invite you to come out, and I want to invite you to change your life. All right. Thank you, Jan, for having me. I'm excited to be here. Full circle moment in my spot, speaking on stage at BWU. Thank you guys again. You guys have been most gracious. I appreciate it.